Want to make some hydroxychloroquine? That's what a Facebook post promised. It has since been removed, but not before it was shared by thousands of people. Went something like this. What is hydroxychloroquine? It's nothing but quinine. And quinine can be easily made at home. All you have to do is take the rind of grapefruit, boil it in water, 2 hours, and you've got quinine. What silliness. I won't even argue about the fact that hydroxychloroquine and quinine are not the same. They're structurally totally different molecules. I'm not even going to address the fact that neither hydroxychloroquine or quinine is of any benefit in COVID-19. Although, of course, they have other uses. Both of them can be used against malaria, and hydroxychloroquine is a drug that is used in the treatment of arthritis and lupus, for example, because it has immune suppressing properties. But they are totally different compounds. So, I mean, I don't even think it's necessary to address that kind of silliness. But where do they get the idea that quinine can be made from the rind of grapefruit? So I've tried to track this down because usually even the most inane things have some kernel of truth that was dredged up from somewhere and then extrapolated beyond belief. Well, this time I'm not sure I hit on it, but maybe. Because at one time, quinine citrate was sold as a medication. And perhaps some scientifically illiterate person saw this and thought that this meant that quinine was made from citrus fruits. Quinine citrate is a salt. It's made by taking quinine and adding citric acid to it. And at one time, it was used as a medication because it is less bitter than quinine and less bitter than quinine sulfate, which is the stuff that is used mostly. But anyway, I mean, obviously, quinine is not made from citrus juice in any way. The synthesis of quinine is actually very, very challenging. It was finally carried out in 1944 by Robert Woodward, one of the greatest organic chemists who ever lived. At that time, he was a young professor, he was only 27 years old at Harvard. And at that time, there was an impetus for finding a synthetic version of quinine because the U.S. was cut off from its natural quinine supplies in the East Indies. And the cinchona trees grow there, and quinine is extracted from the bark of the tree, but the U.S. had no access to it. And of course, malaria is a scourge during war, so they thought that the synthetic version would be, of course, very, very useful. It turned out that Woodward's synthesis, although brilliant, was not practically applicable because it just involved too many steps. But nevertheless, to this day, that synthesis is regarded as a milestone in organic chemistry because of the ingenuity that was involved in carrying it out. But no, you cannot make hydroxychloroquine or quinine at home from grapefruit juice. And of course, there would be no point in making it anyway because neither of these is of any use in fighting COVID-19. And that for today is our Cup of Joe.